Alright. Is this a good streaming material? Good idea to be pooping before streaming. It's pretty solid. It's pretty solid. I hope you did it. Hey, I don't know, you could be doing it right now. As you're watching and listening to my voice. Let my voice soothe your rectum. Welcome to Wacky Wisdom Wednesday with weed. I don't have weed right now. I don't smoke the weed. This is me going through a midlife crisis and trying new things. Welcome to Daisuke Tsuji's channel. This is my wisdom hat. I was just looking for like, maybe I have a wisdom hat or something. And this is like the best thing I can get. It's like, I don't know. This kind of looks wise, does it not? It reminds me of that guy that stormed the Capitol with that stupid hat. I don't want to be that guy. I don't know. I'm trying new things, trying different things. I don't know if this... I just came up with this. I don't know if this is going to be a thing. I don't think so. But I feel like I'd like to, like, I don't know, talk about wise thing. I pretend like I'm wise sometimes, and I say something stupid and it becomes, I don't know, flippable. Since I just came up with Wisdom Wednesday, it's like, maybe I do have something, and I did have something, and this is something that I mentioned before in a stream, and I don't know if I've quoted the whole thing, so I wanted to share this with you, just to share more of myself. I will do this with a wise hat and a wise voice or something. This is by Witold Gombrowicz, who's a Polish writer. I don't know if there's any Polish people out there, people in Poland watching this, but he's a very famous writer in Poland. All right, I'm gonna read it real quick. Man is when I say man, it's human. It's a little dated, so you know it's not about sex. Men, women, anybody, human. Man is shaped by external forces, for he is, by his own nature, inauthentic, never truly himself, because it is the form which is born between people that defines him. Therefore his I becomes assigned to him in this interhumanity. He is an eternal actor, but a natural actor because his artificiality is his innate element, and it is a feature of his humanity. To be a man means to be an actor. To be a man means to simulate a man. To be a man means to behave as a man while not being him to the very bone. To be a man means to recite humanity. It is not that a man should give up his mask, since there is no face behind it. In that matter, one can only demand that a man acknowledges his own inauthenticity and admits to that inauthenticity. If I am destined for deceit, the only possible sincerity I have left to concede is that sincerity is inaccessible to me. There you go. Maybe I'll have one wise thing to say. That's by Vitor Gombrowicz. I don't agree with everything that he says there, but it did speak to me as an actor. I like to believe that there is something behind the mask, even if it's like a soul that you can't really, something. But I do agree with the fact that the self is determined by external forces, by, interacting with other people. This self is very, this self, this version of me is very different from my personal life and with friends and all that. So it spoke to me. So I don't know if it speaks to you, if it means anything to you, but just wanted to share that with you because I really like that past the monologue. That was in a show that I did back in Poland. So, or I didn't do it, but it was another actor in the show, but it's in the same show. Anyway, going forward, I'm going to wear a lot of different masks, I think. I think that's what I'm interested in, And even when it feels fake, because I'm sure it'll feel a lot of fake sometimes, hopefully there is truth to it, But yeah, I have a lot of wacky masks. I don't know if I'm playing a character right now. I don't know what this is. I was thinking like a wise person. I don't know if it's working. I just feel very warm. Stay true to yourself, even if you're playing a character. I thought maybe I'll eat it. I've been talking about these snacks for a while, and this one has an expiration date. I'm not gonna say the expiration date because then you'll be like, don't eat it! It's still good. But I'll eat just one. It's not expired. Okay, so I'm just gonna eat this one thing because I'm watching my figure. I can't eat the whole thing. There was a lot of snack. This is called Delicato Cola Smack. Have a ball. And sympatisk ball. Gulig is smacking. I like that. Gulig is smacking. I don't know what that means, but it's definitely smacking. All right. Is this a good streaming material? It's good snack material, that's for sure. It's delicious. Mukbang. What does that mean? So it's a ball of got some coconut and sugar. That's all I know. I just sound like Golem. You're right. What do you think I am, your monkey? I'm not your monkey. I'm not gonna just do what... Oh, Randall, not again. I'm sorry, Randall. I'm sorry. No. I have to do that every time. Every 15 minutes, somebody will ask me to do this. I'm not gonna do what you tell me to do because, I'm not your little monkey. You don't tell me what to do. I am a free man. Oh God, Randall! I deserve that. If I can hold this here, if this is possible, this is ideal. I can't hear the music, can't hear the game. What happened? I'm stupid. I don't know if I don't think I feel comfortable enough to do a Russian accent, to do a Russian character. Da. Wait, is da Russian? See, da. I'm a Russian. I know a guy in Cirque du Soleil was Slava. I know he was a really funny guy. He was a trampoline guy, and he has the Guinness Book of Records. I think if you go there, he's the guy who's walked the farthest on his fist. Yeah, fist walking. His name is Slava Popov, I believe his last name is. Yeah. Anyway, weird guy, but very positive, really funny.
It's February, y'all. You know what I mean? I mean, I mean, it's time to put some second milk on. And some chocolate. Maybe some Cause you know sexy time in February. Hey, what's that extra R doing in February? R. Now that I've gotten you sufficiently riled up, it's sexy time. As you can see, I got my sexy hat on. So sexy. How is everybody doing tonight? And by tonight, I mean this afternoon. This music though, this music, is it too loud? It's not too loud. It's not loud enough. It's not sexy enough. I just made it louder so it's harder for you to hear my voice. I made things very awkward to begin the stream. And that's exactly the way I like it. How's everybody doing? This is actually an appropriate hat, I realized. Today's Wisdom Wednesday. We started this last week. Let's see if it holds on. I was gonna do the 4 agreements, which I really like. It's one of my, it's one of the things I believe in. It's, you know, spiritual philosophy, good stuff. Anyway, I was gonna do the 4 agreements, but then I thought, you know what? It's February, and I'm gonna do something about love. So I have this book. I didn't realize I've had so many books on philosophy and stuff. Stuff that makes you think. This is How to Love by Vietnamese, I think it's a monk maybe? I forget. But his name is Thich Nhat Hanh. And so I thought, oh, maybe I'll read some stuff from there. So that's what I'm gonna do. And this hat, coincidentally,
is from a show As You Like It when I played Sylvius. And Sylvius is like, he has a speech about love, and he's very madly in love with Phoebe in the play. So I thought, oh, this makes sense. And also not very sexy at all, as you can see. It's really out of season. But I thought it'd be funny. But yeah, I don't know if that speech about love that Sylvius has is the best speech, to be completely honest. Some people really love it, but I don't know. I think he's kind of he's got some issues. He's in a very abusive relationship, in my opinion. Anyway, all right. Well, because this is Wisdom Wednesday, I'm gonna read some stuff on love. This first little, and it's like a daily. It's like one page has its own title, kind of thing. So it's reads like a poem almost. So anyway, I'm gonna read the first one. The first page is titled "Heart Like a River." If you pour a handful of salt into a cup of water, the water becomes undrinkable. But if you pour the salt into a river, people can continue to draw the water to cook, wash, and drink. The river is immense, and it has the capacity to receive, embrace, and transform. When our hearts are small, our understanding and compassion are limited, and we suffer. We can't accept or tolerate others and their shortcomings, and we demand that they change. But when our hearts expand, these same things don't make us suffer anymore. We have a lot of understanding and compassion and can embrace others. We accept others as they are, and they have a chance to transform. So the big question is, how do we help our hearts to grow? And that's like the big question, right? To go forth in the book, in this philosophy, how do we help our hearts to grow? So this is like less sexy time, and it's like much more wise musings on love. I'm just gonna read a couple more if you don't mind. I think because I was gonna, okay, I'm just gonna keep reading a little bit more because everything kind of connects to each other. Number 2, feeding our love. Each of us can learn the art of nourishing happiness and love. Everything needs food to live, even love. If we don't know how to nourish our love, it withers. When we feed and support our own happiness, we are nourishing our ability to love. That's why to love means to learn the art of nourishing our happiness. I can relate to that. Number 3, understanding is the nature of love. Understanding someone's suffering is the best gift you can give another person. Understanding is love's other name. If you don't understand, you can't love. Each of these things is like I feel like we can talk for hours. Oh, I think I'll read one more and then I think I'm good. Number 4, recognizing true love. True love gives us beauty, freshness, solidity, freedom, and peace. True love includes a feeling of deep joy that we are alive. If we don't feel this way when we feel love, then it's not true love. I said, Josephine writes, true love. So yeah, I feel like this is a good mindset to be in for February. So yeah, and also a friend of mine has a colleague who's let's just say, I can't really go into details obviously. This coworker just very much cares about the work that they do so much that they are hurting others and themselves. But they insist that they need to keep going because that's what gives them purpose. And it's hard to back off from stuff like that, right? When you think you love something so much and you have to do it. Or even if it's a person, if you love someone, you have to grab onto it. Even though it's clearly, like, I just want to tell that person, like, you obviously are not happy. So maybe really, reassess. But yeah, the book is How to Love by Thich Nhat Hanh. I'm not sure I'm butchering that name. But he's best known to Zen teachers in the world today. Yeah. And I think even it applies to streaming because we've had some growing pains. Oh, by the way, this is our 6 months anniversary. Yay, DandE, Ghosty, Foxy, Daisuke Tsuji, Earl team. 6 months. And we've had some growing pains. And those come when people care too much. And even though they're hurting themselves and others, they're doing it in the name of love. But that's not true love, as Thich Nhat says. You know, if you're going through some hard times, if the stream brings you joy, brings you community, friends that you can, you know, talk about your problem and give you, as this says, understanding, I think it's, you know, it's very, that's good. Even if it's online, right? Even if it's in Discord, whether it's just streaming, but you gotta, I am under the assumption that you understand all these things, which I shouldn't assume, but I'm just saying, if you're here and you're listening, it's okay if you know, if being here is like too much, or you're putting too much of yourself into it and it doesn't make you happy, then, you know, you gotta reassess and go find that thing that gives you peace and love. Even with all of my shenanigans, somehow it gives you peace. Because if I'm this crazy with this hat and everything, there's no way you can be this crazy. I'm being crazy so that you don't have to. That's my Daisuke Tsuji promise. I think I am sufficiently riled up with community love, wisdom love. So I've been signing autographs, you know, for conventions and stuff. And sometimes I would get, you know, random people send it to my agent saying, you know, sign this for me. And a lot of times they would have like a story behind it. It's like, oh, my son really is a big fan and he really wants your autograph. And I don't know which one this is, but if you go on Amazon, I'll look for it really quickly. If you go on Amazon and look for, I think, probably Jin Sakai autograph. I'm gonna do it now. There's 3. It used to be there's nothing in stock. There's 3 in stock. You can buy it for $40, $39.95. I don't know if you're looking at it now. I'm just gonna paste that real quick. Yeah, there's 3 different, and I remember signing images like this. So it's, you know, it's like one of those things. It's like, right, these are the guys that kind of ruins it for everybody else, because that makes me not want to sign random people. So this is why I can't even like believe a sob story when they say, you know, my child is very sick, he has COVID, he might have 30 days to live, and he really wants your autograph. I might have to be like, nah, fuck your child, because I don't believe you. I can't tell if they're telling the truth or not. So that's happened. So that's too bad. But you know, we'll give away autographs on the Discord from time to time, on this channel from time to time. Obviously there's gonna be more Comic-Cons, probably online, but we'll have those. So, you know, it's too bad. I was kind of like expecting it, you know. So, yeah, keep it dandy, and just as Thich Nhat Hanh says, what did he say? I can't remember any of his quotes, but basically, love yourself. And yes, I'll try to quote something. So the big question is, how do we help our hearts grow? So the bigger our hearts, to love means to learn the art of nourishing our happiness. That's a good one. So yeah, love yourself so you can love others, yeah? Again, the title of this book is How to Love. This might be the book of February, or at least until Valentine's Day. Anyway, all right. I see you later. Bye. See, he was waving, and then it turned into. Wait, is there a better way to do this? Hold on. Hi. It's a Wednesday. This is my wisdom hat for Wednesday today. I'll just do this for today. Hold on. I don't know if he can still hear me. He's so happy. He's so happy to be here. Had a good day. I had a good day today. I went to work. I had work today, so I did some voiceover. It was less than an hour, but I still get paid for it. So, making the monies. Woohoo! Well, today I wanted to read from you the 4 agreements as Wisdom Wednesday, and I have reasons for this. I have several reasons for this, and we can discuss it. But one of them being the assaults that are happening to Asian American communities. I thought not that we're gonna fix that problem here and now by just talking about it, but I think it's good to talk about it, just to feel like, and I know, I suppose I'm preaching to the choir. Like I'm sure we're all on the same page about this, but I think it's good to just have each other's back and just talk about it. So I wanted to read you one of the 4 agreements, and I want to share with you how I was introduced to the 4 agreements, which has nothing to do with what I'm talking about right now. But I'll be very quick, because this story is an industry story, so that's kind of cool. Anyway, so I did 4 years at Oregon Shakespeare Festival. Very much like I felt like a pro actor, but when it comes to TV and film, I felt very much like a novice. So there was this agent, the name I shall not say, who I kind of worked with on a show. He wasn't my agent, but he worked with a cast member, and he negotiated for all of us. So he would joke, because he kind of worked for me, he would joke like, "Hey, you owe me dinner, haha," and as you do. And I was like, okay, haha. When I was coming back to Los Angeles, he was like, "Hey, what about?" No, I contacted him because he was a big agent. So I was like, I'm looking for an agency. Maybe this agency would be good, and it's a good agency. We set up a dinner. He chooses the place, first of all. So that's number 1. He chose a place in Beverly Hills. It's a sushi restaurant. So as you can imagine, sushi is pretty expensive as it is. I think this was one of the more expensive places in Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills is pretty expensive. And number 2, I get there on time, and he got there, I think, literally an hour late. I think it was literally an hour late. So that's strike 2. And then we sat at the bar. We moved to the bar, and after waiting, and he had reasons to be late. He starts ordering, and not just like ordering like from the menu, like a set thing. He starts ordering like kind of omakase, as in like whatever the chef thought was good that day, that kind of thing. So yes, you're right, Julia. The bill was about $300. It came to be. And he's the type of guy that he mentioned he helped the homeless guy. The homeless guy asked him for money, and he's like, "Oh, I'll just feed you, give you, let's eat together at this restaurant." And I took him home, and he showered at my house. And I believe he told me this without me prompting anything, or without any kind of segue. He just sort of mentioned it. Maybe because he knew that I was gonna pay for that dinner. Maybe, it's like I pay a homeless person his food, so it's okay if you pay $300 for this dinner. Yeah, and you know, he also had like an audition. There was an audition for Marco Polo. He's like, yeah, I could hook you up with an audition. Who knows if that was actually real? Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I have no idea. I did get a meeting with the agency, so that was good, but I did not sign with them. During this conversation, he mentioned the 4 agreements, and so I have him to thank for this introduction, because I think this is a great book. That was one of the first. You know, I don't know, encounter with like Hollywood. Very Hollywood story coming out of a very theater nurturing experience. So yeah, it's kind of ironic that it was him, that guy, from that experience I got this. All this to say, you can read something, understand it, but still not be a good person. Or may not fully comprehend the extent of the lessons in something like this. Or maybe this is full of shit. I don't know. But anyway, with that being said, I know I'm doing a very good job of selling this. And I thought about saying this earlier with the Wisdom Wednesday, but you all are smart people. I trust and I assume, which I guess I shouldn't assume, but please don't think that I'm selling this to anybody, any of you. Wisdom Wednesday or Philosophy Wednesday or whatever it's all about discussions and thinking about life and meaning of life. I'm not trying to sell you a religion or start a cult. I thought I should say that for legal purposes. The 4 agreements, I'm going to list them in order, is be impeccable with your word. Number 2, don't take anything personally. Number 3, don't make assumptions. And number 4, always do your best. And I'm going to read a little bit from number 1, which is be impeccable with your word today. I think it's a good starting point, at least. Because it's not something, I didn't know about it before. This was not my way of thinking before this book. So it may be superficial, but it's a good start. So I'm going to read it anyway. And you'll understand, you'll see why I'm bringing this thing up as well. The first agreement is the most important one and also the most difficult one to honor. It is so important that with just this first agreement, you will be able to transcend to the level of existence I call heaven on earth. I'm not sure about that, but we'll see. The first agreement is to be impeccable with your word. It sounds very simple, but it is very, very powerful. Why your word? Your word is a power that you have to create. Your word is the gift that comes directly from God. Now, God is open to interpretation, I think, in this. Although he goes on to say the Gospel of John in the Bible. John could be many, Japanese John. Yeah. Speaking of the creation of the universe says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word is God. Okay, maybe this part I'm not really a fan of. This is so many gods where I go, you lost me. You lost me at God. Nothing against gods, if you believe in God. Good for you. Through the word, you express your creative power. It is through the word that you manifest everything. Regardless of what language you speak, your intent manifests through the word. What you dream, what you feel, and what you really are will all be manifested through the word. The word is so powerful that one word can change a life or destroy the lives of millions of people. Some years ago, one man in Germany, by the use of the word, manipulated a whole country of the most intelligent people. He led them into a world war with just the power of his word. He convinced others to commit the most atrocious acts of violence. He activated people's fear with the word, and like a big explosion, there was killing and war all around the world, all over the world. Humans destroyed other humans because they were afraid of each other. Hitler's word, based on fear-generated beliefs and agreements, will be remembered for centuries. Yeah, and it goes on. Anyway, so yeah, I mentioned that. Hitler, oh no. Because of what's happening, and, with the word China virus, or there was somebody on something. Social media, defending the defending the words colored people as opposed to people of color. It's like, what's the difference? There is a difference. And again, I think I'm, preaching to the choir. Maybe you already know this, but that's the kind of thing I'm talking about or he was talking about too, with being impeccable with your word. And it is a very difficult thing to do, to be impeccable with your word. I'm pretty good that I don't think I'm a racist, but yeah, I mean, listening to me talk right now, I'm sure it's like I'm saying a lot of words that don't mean anything. Hopefully some of those words mean something and, can connect to you. But it's a difficult thing to do. It's all about respect, yes. Yes. I was just reading now about Joss Whedon. And there were some people from Buffy, some actors from Buffy who came out to support the people who were abused by Joss Whedon. And yeah, I think he is one of those people that used his word and his position of power to abuse a lot of people. And I just think that the 4 agreements, I'll get back to it from every now and then on Wednesdays, especially now with the internets and even here now with the chats, with the words. It's I don't want to stop you guys or make you afraid of typing and saying or making jokes. It's just good to be aware that it makes a difference. And it can be very good. And hopefully you're using that power of the word to do good in the world. Nobody's perfect. We will make mistakes. I've made mistakes, and I will make many mistakes in the future. So, but we can also correct things as we move forward. One of the things, because today's Wisdom Wednesday, and it's more philosophical than wisdom, blah blah blah. And I wrote a play called Monkey Madness, and it's all about connecting humanity with animal instinct. Humans are animals too, I think is the main point that I wanted to make with that play. And I wrote it during college, so it's it's got some good stuff and not so great stuff. But anyway, it was a satire. There's a thing about violence that I was thinking about. Violence and death. And how there's something about human nature that is fascinated by violence. I think it's just part of human nature to at least be fascinated by it. I started thinking about this because of on Sunday we did a stream, Roll the Dice, on Sundays, where I try to do new things, trying out things that maybe try to do something that nobody else has done, but even though everything has been done, but that shouldn't stop us from trying. And one of the things that my morbid mind went to, and I'm not suggesting anybody or me doing this, but I thought about would any YouTuber or streamer ever stream their death? And I don't mean any kind of suicide or any kind of violence, but I mean if you were dying of old age. It's been done before. Oh my god. But it's there's a part of me that's ooh, I kind of want to watch because I've never seen anybody die. The only time was a cat, was my first cat, but that was sad because he was in a car accident and my mom was driving and she was crying, and he was in a box and I had to watch as his life was, he was still alive when we got to the vet, but clearly he was not gonna make it. But it has been done, huh? I mean, not that, again, I'm not suggesting I will. I mean, obviously it would take some time for me to, hopefully, to die of old age, you know. It would be very, very much later. But I was thinking, like, because death is so, I don't know if personal is the word. It's so lonely. Even if you're with your loved ones, and now you can't really be with your loved ones. And, you know, if you have built up a community with any streaming services, like, would anybody be like, I want to spend my dying breath with my community? Like, I wouldn't be surprised in a couple of decades or so, there'll be more people doing that. It would be like, again, this is not, I don't really take this lightly or as a joke. I don't mean this as a joke. I'm just curious, like, there might be like a death watch of like, hey, I'm really old. I might die today, but I'm just gonna talk, just chatting or play this video game and you can watch and I could die today. I mean, but if, you know, if somebody wants to do that, it could happen. And while I was thinking about that, obviously not seriously considering it, I read, I don't know why this came up in my feed, but there was a news about a Russian YouTuber who was paid $1,000 to torture his girlfriend by leaving her outside in the cold Russian balcony, and she died from it. And so now he's in jail. Yeah, that news. And somebody actually paid $1,000 to see, you know, maybe not death, but to see someone get tortured. And apparently she was also pepper sprayed, which is totally fucked up. But yeah, it just got me thinking about, again, going back to the whole, there's a part of us that has animal instincts. That I don't know I'm sure there's a scientific part of the brain where it's, you know, but it got me thinking, like, is there a part of us that is fascinated by that we want to, and I say us in a very generous way, or general way, obviously, not all of us do, but the fact that, with video games, you know, I always said, like, if everybody played video games and took out their aggression, perhaps this animal instinct to hunt and to kill things, we wouldn't, if we all just play video games, we wouldn't have that. We wouldn't have war. We wouldn't have so much deaths out on the streets if we just did it in the video game. And I mention all of this because this got me to thinking about Randall and how he likes to slap people, especially me. And I just want you all to realize, before anybody like makes this connection, this is all consensual slapping, and I'm not actually being hurt. Randall's like, read the script. Just say the words. Read the script. Yes, Randall. I agreed to this, the slapping. It's meant to be comedy. It's meant to be satire, and like, we should not be joking about people actually getting hurt on streams, and we shouldn't encourage each other to hurt each other. Good. Keep going. Yes, Randall. I just want to say that Randall has never hurt me. It's just all part of the joke. And so Randall slaps is akin to playing video games, where you know, if Jin is killing a bunch of Mongols with his sword and there's a lot of blood, he's not encouraging the world to do exactly that. Far from it. So the slap is like video games. Just so we're clear, on the same page. Good. Now come here.
so I can slap you in the face. Okay, then.
How y'all doing, everybody? To be completely honest, I've been in a bad mood. How about you? I don't know if it's the whole Trump thing, but and partially because there's a lot of learning curve with the PC. I've been very impatient, and I usually do the Wisdom Wednesday. Today's wisdom is, kind of like how Jin says to his friends, he has messages that are lessons that he needs for himself. So the lesson of today is patience, because that's something I need to hear it right now. And if you can imagine, I think part of the stress is that what you see over there, this whole table was on this side, and I had another standing desk right in front of my TV, which is right there, which I will not show you because you've already seen too much of my room. So I was doing everything, all the streaming business, I was doing right in front of my TV, in the middle of my living room, which is not feng shui. I can't say it. It's more like feng shit. Feng shit. It was feng shit. I think that in and of itself is gonna make my life easier and more happier for me. So I was working on Slap News, and I'm not gonna get into details because I can't, but I was short. It was like in corresponding in the emails, and I just found myself being short with people, like whatever, just do the thing. This is fine. The work here is fine. I didn't have patience. And it could be a number of things, there's I have a lot of stuff going on, both personally with with my family, and also with work. I'm going to Japan next week. So a lot of stuff happening. So I was just overwhelmed. So, so spending time with you here and playing a video game is it's going to be nice. It's COVID stress. It just keeps going. And I just want things to, with the PC build, I didn't have patience because I just want things to just work. But now it's working. Now everything is working pretty well. Get it out. Yes. So much for wisdom. Wisdom, patience. Wisdom is patience. Yeah. See how smooth that was? See how smooth? The power of the PC. Thank you all for hanging out. I'll see y'all later. Stay safe, everybody. And I'll be extra safe because traveling nowadays is hard. I want to take all the